good morning to all of you. Today we are going to see a poem written by Lord Alfred Tennyson. Alfred Tennyson was born on 6th August 1809 in Somerby, Lincolnshire, England, into a middle class family. However, he also had a noble and royal ancestry. After the death of William Wordsworth in 1850, Tennyson was appointed to the position of Poet Laureate when Samuel Rogers refused the position. Elizabeth Barrett Browning and Leigh Hunt were also considered for the distinction. Tennyson held this position until his death on 6th October 1892. Although it was Prince Albert who was mainly responsible for Tennyson's appointment as laureate, Queen Victoria also became a great admirer of his poetry. She said that reading In Memoriam A.H.H. had soothed and pleased her. Tennyson was very serious about his craftsmanship as a poet. He polished and revised his manuscripts extensively. Robert Browning, who was his contemporary, thought Tennyson was quite insane. T.S. Eliot described Tennyson as the saddest of all the English poets. Let me read the poem for you. Break, break, break on thy cold grey stones, O sea, and I would that my tongue could utter the thoughts that arise in me. Oh, well for the fisherman's boy, that he shouts with his sister at play. Oh, well for the sailor lad, that he sings in his boat on the bay, and the stately ships go on to their haven under the hill. But oh, for the touch of a vanished hand, and the sound of a voice that is still. Break, break, break at the foot of the crags, O sea, but the tender grace of a day that is dead will never come back to me. Heaven means here a small port. Crags means steep or projecting rocks. Tender grace means soft beauty. A day that is dead means a day that is gone. This poem is written in a form of elegy. Elegy is a kind of mournful song. Tennyson composed this poem in memory of his close friend, Arthur Hallam, a fellow poet. He was shocked and grieved at his death, who was only 22 years old then. The poet Alfred Tennyson is standing on the seashore and admiring and talking to the sea waves that come with great force and break on the cold grey rocks. He wishes that he could express his deep thoughts. The poet envies the fisherman's boy who can be happy and play with his sister, and he also feels that the sailor too is lucky who is singing in his boat. He also says that the ships also find the sea lucky as they go into the harbor at its edge. All these things may find happiness in the sea, but the poet himself is very sad and depressed. He remembers a loved one who had come and stood there with him, but now that person cannot be touched or heard. He feels that the waves can come again and again and touch the stones lying there, but he will never even be able to recapture the happy days that he spent with someone, because now they are gone forever from him. So this is in short the paraphrase and the meaning of the lines which are there in the poem Break, Break, Break. And we can see here the poet is trying to use the word break, break, break here. The speaker emotionally commands the sea to break. He wants the sea waves to break on the cliffs. These lines can also be interpreted as a demand to break the cold grey stones of the cliff. The cold grey stones are symbolic of the hardened heart of his inexpressible grief. And on the surface, the poem seems relatively simple and straightforward, and the feeling is easy to discern. The speaker wishes he could give voice to his sad thoughts and his memories, to move and speak like the sea and others around him. The poem's deeper interest is in the series of comparisons between the external world and the poet's internal world. The outer world is where life happens. The inner world is what preoccupies him now, caught up in deep pain and loss and the memories of a time with the one who is gone. The waves come again and again, hitting a wall of rock each time, but for him there is no return of the dead, just the recurring pain of loss. Thank you and have a nice day.